Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am glad to be here, and I am grateful to be here. As you can see, I'm in beautiful Santa Monica this morning, charged by this beautiful day, this fresh air, but actually charged by an amazing weekend this last weekend. Again, full of learning and full of gratitude. This last weekend was the weekend for our 7th annual WACKY Warriors Charitable Softball Tournament. And, what an amazing event. I am so grateful for that my eyes have been opened to so many wonderful people that I can see in my life. Many times we move at such a fast pace that we don't get to see the things that matter most to us. I woke up this morning and I looked at several different videos that have come to me from different people talking about riches and how you can be rich really quick and come to our program and follow this and follow that, and 12 steps to becoming rich and financially successful, and that search for happiness. And the truly reality is that you can't, other people and other things can't make you happy any more than other things or other people can't make you angry. And so it comes from within. But placing yourself in the path of inspiration, placing yourself with your eyes open so that you can experience it, is a wonderful blessing. And that's the way it's been this last week. I was in the path of some amazing people who have helped put together, not the least of which is my wife Lori, and for the work that she has done to keep this 7 years of the WACKY softball tournament going. A little history. Nick, several years ago, our son who passed away 3 years ago, after a year of battling with cancer, he attended a kayaking camp that was put on by First Descents, and an amazing organization that focuses on the social psycho aspect of cancer by placing young adults in small groups and getting them away from the regular world and getting them out into the outdoor world where they can experience things like kayaking, rock climbing, surfing, etc. Real challenges, but also that camaraderie that comes together. Nick came home from his First Descents adventure and said, we've got to do something. We have to be able to give back. Can we create an event where we can give back? Well, Carly and Kelsey, his sisters, were playing softball, and we thought, well, that's the only thing we know how to do in terms of putting on events, and so we thought, well, let's do that. And so that started, and we did that, 14 teams in a state, a county fairgrounds. It was a lot of fun. The first one that we did, the 14 teams raised some money for awareness, and they did it by raising money for every run they scored. And I have to tell you, we rigged it a little bit. We talked to the umpires and said, if they're this close to the base, call them safe because it's money for cancer. Well, that didn't work too well for a long time because of the parents and the some of the coaches, but it did work, and it has continued to grow. So this last weekend we had 44 teams. We probably turned away another 20 teams. We just didn't have the space. 14 different fields, over 500 girls from different teams, dressed in bright, colorful colors, some of them in amazing league of their own type outfits, and in the sportsmanship. Each team played for what we call a cancer cutie, a youngster. It could be teenagers down to little tiny childs that are living or battling with cancer, or who have battled for cancer, and even a few that are angels right now. But how these teams embraced these young little kids, how they brought them in and made them a part of their team, how they studied the cancer that they were going through, how they made this day come alive for those that could attend as well, is something that was just purely magnificent. I'm so grateful for the volunteers. We had so many wonderful volunteers that came of their own time and spent many hours there helping out and making this thing work. The umpires, the coaches, the community that rallies around and makes this event what it is. I am so grateful for that. Grateful for the sportsmanship, grateful for the fun athletes that they are. They are all great athletes. These girls are amazing. Man, they can hit the ball, they can throw the ball, they can play well. But what they take away from this is the memory that they are making a difference, that they are active and in action and making things happen. You know, in spite of that, there's lessons that we learn because we all have human nature. We want to win, and coaches really want to have the best outcomes for their players. And occasionally a coach and sometimes the parents will get a little carried away. But we've done a good job of changing that atmosphere. And we still have instances, and we learn from those instances. Let me share one with you. We had a coach that got a little aggressive, a little excited about a call. I think you've seen that all before. And he came charging out of the dugout and got into the umpire's face. And unfortunately, the umpire had to ask him to leave. And he didn't leave quietly. He came back again and kind of made himself known. And so as I was escorting him out and had a nice talk with him, he did not appreciate that either. And I understand. We get emotional, we get excited about these things, and these things happen. In all of our time, we've only had 2 coaches that we've not asked to come back, and this probably could have been a 3rd one. But as he left and he was off the property, and then he started walking with his team a few hours later for their next game, and I caught him at the outside edge of it. I said, "Coach, we're asking you to stay away from this event, for the whole day." And he said, "I kind of thought that's what would happen." And he continued to say, he said, "There's several people I need to apologize to," and he said, "You're one of them," and he apologized, and we had a really good talk, and he asked if he could come in and address his team. And I said, "Certainly you can, but let me walk you in and walk you out so that the umpires don't ask you to leave." And so I walked him in, and I listened to him talk to his team. And this is a coach that I think really cares about his team. He cares about the girls. But the event does not determine the outcome. How we respond to the event determines the outcome. We've talked about this before. And I was sharing this with a friend yesterday who reminded me that the same thing is true not only in sports, but it's true in our business as well. That in any event, that happens, sometimes our how we react, we become the response, and that becomes the influence. And that's the one thing we can never delegate, is our influence. And so I talked to this coach about this, and I said, "Coach, really, when you're coaching, Coach John Wooden used to say, 'Yes, Lee, I'm a coach, but I prefer to be called a teacher.' And everything that we do in life teaches." So I asked him, "What was it that you're teaching your young girls? When you look at these young girls, say 10 years from now or 15 years from now, they have their own children. They're into life's experiences. And as they're into life's experiences, and they have a bad call go against them, even if it's not right, even if it's unfair, they still have that bad call. How are they going to respond? They may think back to this moment, and they'll remember their coach, and they'll remember that the coach responded this far out of bounds. But what we've determined over time is that when a coach goes this far out of bounds, or somebody goes this far out of bounds, what's really happening is that it gives permission to those that are watching. It gives permission to those girls to be able to go this far out of bounds. And that's what happens. The same is true in our families. If we as leaders in our families go this far out of bounds, maybe we do something, we don't give back the exact change, or we have the opportunity to really show our leadership, and we don't take advantage of it, we're giving our children, we're only out of bounds this far, we're giving our children permission to go this far. Same in the workplace. When we make exceptions and we go this far out of bounds and kind of laugh it off, what we're really doing is we're giving our employees, our team members, we give them the opportunity to go this far, and they will take it. We all have influence in life. I'm so grateful for this last 3 days. We don't make a lot of money on this particular tournament. We do an enormous amount of work. The volunteers and Lori and the work that she does and those that help her. All of the coaches that come together and make it happen. But this is life. This is giving back. This is giving back where you can really see the effect. Imagine 500 girls. Imagine the parents of those girls, the coaches. Imagine the families of those children, those youngsters of all ages, of teenagers and down, that are affected by the love and the outpouring of these young teams and girls. What difference does that make? Can we really see the ripples of where that's going and the difference that it's making? Many of you have been involved in WACKY or other charitable events like that. Understand, please, the importance of ripples. Understand the importance of learning. Understand the importance of teaching. You are teachers and you are learners every single moment. Make this a great, meaningful week. I look forward to talking to you next week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.